Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here, myself Charlie. And before the video starts, please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Now, Saturday night sees a British grudge match take place. It is the rematch, of course, of Leigh Wood and Josh Warrington, this time in Nottingham, between two fighters who have perhaps had their glory days put behind them, but still hold a resentment towards each other after their first fight. And of course, it is the natural Nottingham-Leeds rivalry, which any football fan in this country will tell you exists due to political factors and the great man himself, Brian Clough. It is a fight where I think it's fair to say both fighters are at similar stages of their career. I think Leigh and Josh would probably sit down and acknowledge that perhaps their best days are behind them, and perhaps the days of fighting for world titles are certainly probably been there, been and gone. However, that's what makes it, I think, a good fight, is both have declined at a pretty even rate to the point where it's almost a case of not they're so bad they're good, it's a good fight, but it's something similar to that. They're both at a similar level. There is still hatred there. It's pretty obvious from the build-up. There's still, I think, a lot of resentment from Warrington with the regards to how the first fight ended. His feeling, I think, perhaps of being robbed slightly by Wood. Wood, I think, still carries an element of the feeling that Josh Warrington is a dirty fighter. I mean, I commented on Matchroom's video the other week saying that Josh Warrington's best shot in his arsenal was his headbutt, but perhaps that's slightly harsh. But I do think that Warrington, he's always had those claims, you know, when he fought Lara the second time at Ellen Road and that ended in 2 rounds due to a head clash. There's always been those claims. I think both men will know that going into this fight, it is last chance saloon. I think the loser leaves town, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what happens for the winner either, apart from perhaps the domestic round robin of that super featherweight division. We know we've got Kakache Dickens in Belfast on St Patrick's Day. That's going to be quite something to witness in terms of atmosphere, and I guess maybe the loser of that faces the winner of this fight. I don't know. I saw someone mention, could Nick Ball cut to featherweight? He is naturally small at 5'2", but he's very compact as 5'2". So there is fights out there for the winner. For the loser, I mean, yes, they still possess huge fan bases, but I can't see them getting themselves back in a world title picture, or back even in a picture for a big fight, to be honest with you. And unfortunately, it may be time for them to hang up the gloves. As for a prediction, of course, as a fellow Forest fan, my heart says Wood. My head, though, does say Warrington. I think Wood's inactivity will play one or two factors. It will either mean that he is the fresher fighter. I mean, both men have not been particularly active, I think it's fair to say. Both men do hold recent losses to Anto Kakache. Warrington, we saw come back. He came back on an undercard in Sheffield. So he is the fresher of the two, I guess, in that aspect. But that's not necessarily always a good thing, because the guy he fought was a tomato can, let's be honest. And, you know, was it just a case of just getting himself back on winning track? But when he finds himself in that deep waters again with Wood, who knows? I think it'll be a fantastic fight, because I think both men know what it means. It means for one of them the end of their careers, and that usually results in a good fight, unless, of course, as we've seen recently in times in British boxing, unless that means that one of them is already done and perhaps already got one foot out the door, in which case it could become quite one-sided. But I have my doubts with the fact it's a sellout Motor Point Arena that will happen. Like I say, I can't quite work out what I think of it, to be honest with you. I think they're so evenly matched. Like I say, my heart says Wood. My head does say Warrington, though, just because of the inactivity of Wood. But then, like I said, that could pay dividends. On the undercard, though, I think is the most exciting fight. Bilal Fawaz, whose story is quite simply incredible. A guy who was a refugee, abandoned here, who sort of went around different houses, had been through a lot in his life, it's fair to say, abused as well, faces off against Ishmael Davis, who is an absolute road warrior for the British Super Welterweight title. It's two really likeable fighters with really good stories behind them. Not good in terms of the content, but good in terms of seeing what boxing can do. And I think both of them know that this is a chance for the winner to get themselves in that domestic mix at Super Welterweight. They're already in it, but get themselves up a level. We've seen Sam Eggington be ordered for the European title. Could the winner go on to face them? I think Fawaz is a slick boxer. He has got pop as well. Just ask Junaid Bostan, he can hurt you. Davis is relentless. His cardio is so phenomenal. The way he just walks forward, it's relentless. The way he just, I mean, Kevin Ajaxiako, look at what he did to him on the Crocker Donovan undercard, when he just kept coming and Ajaxiako couldn't keep him off. Again, it's a 50-50. It's a real 50-50. I mean, for what it's going to be an entertaining build-up because Fawaz talks the talk and Davis will bite, I think, and bite pretty relentlessly. Do you know what? I do think Fawaz could outbox him. I do think Fawaz could win this fight and continue this fantastic story because he is a great fighter who, like I say, upset the apple cart, beating Junaid Bostan. A lot of people weren't very happy about that one. Certainly in matchroom circles, I think. But do you know what? He did win the fight fair and square. It was just Bostan had been labelled the second coming. But he won that fight, and I think he will win this one. I think Davis, as tough as he is, maybe it's one fight too many. He's been fighting an awful lot, Ishmael Davis, and he's pretty much been saying yes to anything. And I think that could catch up with him in this fight with Fawaz. But I think it could be a great night of boxing in Nottingham. Two potential domestic, I don't know, I hate the phrase, I'll use it to domestic dust-ups, but I think it could be two domestic wars. As always, guys, let us know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. As a try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Have a great day.